The lady from Guilford, Representative Harrison, rise.
To debate the bill?
Lady has floor.
Yeah, the motion, to debate the motion. I didn't want to bother, ladies and gentlemen of the House, I did not want to bother the body with the time taken to make a motion because we have a provision in this bill related to Summerfield de-annexation that has never been heard in a committee in the House. And I would object to the fact that we are passing this very controversial provision inside an omnibus local bill where the citizens really haven't had a chance to participate, and our colleagues here who have concerns about this bill really haven't had a chance to participate in the committee. But leave that aside and talk about the substance of it. So let me walk you through this timeline a little bit. So Summerfield got incorporated. I grew up in Greensboro. Summerfield was a very bucolic area with lots of horse farms, and people moved out there to get more room. It incorporated in 1996 or 1996 because it didn't want, and it was worried about getting annexed by Greensboro. And as I understand it, the developer who was pushing for this de-annexation started to purchase non-contiguous parcels in Summerfield from 1998 to the present, knowing what the development ordinances were. I just want to repeat that. When the developer bought that land, he knew what the regulatory environment was in Summerfield. Summerfield doesn't have a water supply, doesn't have the infrastructure for a large town, and there's no municipality who has agreed to extend water lines or the necessary infrastructure to accommodate a large development. The developer has proposed a very large development that will essentially double the population of Summerfield and add significant housing that it's not clear that the infrastructure is there to sustain. There's been this back and forth I'm sorry about the details, this would have been better in a committee, but there's been a back and forth between the developer and the town of Summerfield, which has tried to accommodate all of his concerns and bent over backwards and modifying its UDO and text amendments that were requested by the developer. And they thought they'd reached an agreement, but then all of a sudden we have some pressure, and I'm not going to blame anybody in this chamber.
Mr. Speaker, I'm over here, Representative Cunningham.
Hi, Representative Cunningham. For what purpose,
Thank
lady,
you.
rise?
There's a lot of noise in the chamber, and I'm trying to hear what Representative Harrison
There is.
saying.
The chair would ask the members to please keep the conversations down. The lady continues to have the floor to debate the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative Cunningham. I appreciate that. So anyway, because the developer decided it wanted more than what the town felt like it could accommodate, it went to leadership in the other chamber, and the threat of a de-annexation became a real threat in this legislature. And under that threat, Summerfield bent over backwards to accommodate this developer so that the 1,000 acres, which represents more than half the town, would not get seized out of the middle of the town and de-annexed. And you all, you just imagine if the towns you're from if that happened to you, and if you have a particular character in your town that you appreciate, and that's why you moved there, and all of a sudden it was altered because a developer didn't get what he wanted from the leadership that had been elected by the town of Summerfield. This is the largest de-annexation in North Carolina history. I believe it sets a dangerous precedent. I can't imagine why any of us think this is a good idea to do this to the town of Summerfield. We've all been hearing from the residents there. I think the ratio of against the de-annexation to for the de-annexation is about 100 to 1 in my inbox. I don't know about the rest of you all, and I'm trying to respond to all of them. It's been difficult to keep up. But I can't implore you enough to think about the citizens of Summerfield who I wish had a voice, who are in this gallery right now, worried about what's going to happen to their future in their town that they have grown to love, people who've been there for decades, and we're getting ready to ruin it for them by a developer who's given significant campaign contributions to folks over there. That's wrong. I urge you to vote no. And I'm sorry that there are other good provisions in this bill, but this is a poison pill. Thank you.
For what purpose, gentleman?